Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of TEW Local to Globe 1987. We're back because I'm GCW, and we are here, the episode where we're going to present Resilience and Romance. So let's get straight into our first fuel. We're starting off with Steve Austin and Dustin Rhodes cutting a promo against one another because they will be facing off at Resilience and Romance, with the winner being the leader of Syndicate. And these two, they're taking jabs at each other, and it's still unsure who's going to be the leader of the Syndicate. Both these guys very accomplished in GCW. Steve Austin a little bit more accomplished, but Dustin Rhodes in recent months has shown a different side to him, a much more aggressive side. So it remains to be seen what will happen at Resilience and Romance. A 94. We start the show with Chris Candido and Jericho defeated the Dynamic Dudes when Chris Jericho defeated Johnny Ace with the Lion Tamer. And Johnny Ace, the worst of the match, which is probably why he's not going to be with us much longer. Same thing with Shane Douglas. Like, Shane Douglas, he might stay as like a mid-card act. I don't have any plans for Shane Douglas this time being. For me, he's just there. I don't really know what I want to do with him yet, because I have other guys that I want to push, and I'm also thinking of new guys that are going to be coming into the database at the end of 96. I'm pretty sure Kurt Angle enters the database. He's not going to debut for us in 96. He might debut in 97, actually. He might come in at 97. I think Goldberg comes in at 96. But anyway, so good match. Then we have Jericho and Candido cutting a promo, and BPI come out, Chris Benoit and Lance Storm. Teddy Long is also there, but anyway, it's announced that Lance Storm will be facing off against Chris Candido next week. Alright, we have a Cruiserweight showcase match, 4 Cruiserweights, showing it, just having a good match, right? Alex Wright getting the victory, and it looks like it was the right decision. He has the best in-ring performance out of all of them. And then we have Rey Mysterio, Chavo, and Billy Kidman cutting a promo, and the Cruiserweight champion, the leader of the Latino World Order, Eddie Guerrero, comes out. And Eddie refuses to defend the Cruiserweight Championship against any of them until they have proven themselves. So we'll have to see what they're going to do with that. Steve Austin is in action next. He gets a victory over Mark Mero in 6 minutes with a stunner. Austin with an 84, Mark Mero with a 47. Austin's little warm-up match for Dustin Rhodes next Sunday. We're in the ring with Jesse Ventura and the Big Show, and Diamond Dallas Page runs down and attacks the Big Show for chokeslamming Kimberly Page last week. Gets a 97. We then have a Satoshi Kojima match. He gets a victory over Greg Valentine in 7:54 with an Emerald Flosion, and gets an 80. Great match. The Nation of Domination, I forgot to put Stevie Ray in there, but they are out here. And Triple H comes out, and The Rock agrees to face Triple H in a rematch for the Intercontinental Championship if D'Lo Brown and Kama Mustafa get a tag team title opportunity, being the part of the deal, and Triple H agrees. And in our main event for tonight, The Undertaker gets a victory over P.I. Mike, Private Investigator Mike, which I could really drop that gimmick because it doesn't matter anymore. Like, we found out what happened to Booker T, but I don't really have anything for Disco Inferno and Mike Awesome, so I'm just going to keep them as Detective Disco and P.I. Mike for now. Undertaker gets the victory with an 83, and it ends with Brian Pillman once again coming out to brawl with The Undertaker. Ends our show with an 88. And not too shabby. Let's see what's going on. All right. Mike Rotundo has suffered a broken arm. Billy Kidman has poor ring psychology. The kid is probably not worth keeping around. Come on, Undertaker. Is that really necessary? Kidman is not going to be a main eventer. We already know that. But he's a great mid-carder. What the hell are you talking about? He's fantastic in the Cruiserweight division. Same with Eddie Guerrero. What are you talking about? Poor ring psychology. Yeah, he kind of does. I mean, fair enough. He's never been the most psychological, like the best storyteller in the ring, but he's a great high flyer. He's great for the cruiserweight division. When did cruiserweight have psychology in their matches? That's what I thought. So leave Kidman alone. I like Billy Kidman. If you can't tell, Kidman is one of my favorite cruiserweights from the WCW cruiserweight division. But anyway, we're going to move on, and I'm going to go book Saturday Night's Wrestling, and we'll be back for next week's Fuel, which is the go-home show to Resilience and Romance. So see you in a second. Second show of today's episode, the go-home Fuel, and we're starting off with Brian Pillman in the ring cutting a promo, and Paul Bearer comes out. And it's announced that Pillman will be facing The Undertaker at Resilience in Romance in a Hell in a Cell. And when that is announced, lights go out, Undertaker appears, and chokeslams Brian Pillman. So you heard it here, Brian Pillman versus The Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, 89. RVD is in action next. He gets a victory over Greg Valentine in 9:31 with a frog splash, and RVD gets a 65, while Greg Valentine we don't really care about. Great win for Rob Van Dam. We've got Ray, Chavo, and Kidman in the ring, and they agree to face each other in a triple threat match, with the winner getting a championship opportunity against Eddie Guerrero. 65. Television Championship is on the line, and Stevie Ray once again defends the TV Championship against Detective Disco. Just a reminder that Stevie Ray is not the television champion. He's just claiming to be the champion and defending it for Booker T. 61. Farouk backstage, he reminds The Rock that he is not the leader of the Nation of Domination. Farouk is the leader. And The Rock completely agrees. He says, yeah, absolutely. So, gets an 83. Dustin Rhodes gets his warm-up match next, and he gets a victory over Shane Douglas in 12:35 with the final cut. And he gets an 85. Great match right here. See, that's why I might keep Shane Douglas just as a mid-card act. I don't really have storylines for him, but he's like a very decent hand. Gets a 75. We're backstage with the Big Show and Steve Austin, and Big Show tells Austin that whoever wins at Resilience and Romance, Big Show will 100% side with that person, and Austin assures him that he will be the winner and he will lead the Syndicate. It's an 86. DDP is in action next. He gets a victory over Nikolai Volkov with a diamond cutter, and afterwards DDP is celebrating, and Jesse Ventura comes out, and he tells DDP that you are not championship material, you are not a champion. And so at Resilience and Romance, in your match against the Big Show, I will be the special guest referee. Say 100. We end the show with a 67, not too great. But Lance Storm gets the victory over Chris Candido, and it ends with BPI brawling with Candido and Jericho. Gets an 81. I thought it was going to be worse because that main event was not great. But still, could have been worse. Alright. I agree, Austin. Finally, someone says something positive about a guy in the Cruiserweight division. Thank you, Austin. Just for that, I'm giving you a bonus. Nikolai Volkov. Nikita Koloff. Is retiring. He's 37. Why is he retiring? What's his physical? Where would that be? I forget. That'd be under personal? No. Skills, maybe. He got a bruised eye socket in late 93. Why is he retiring? Whatever. You know, it's his decision. Fine. Whatever. You do you. You're not working for me. I don't give a shit. Just a little peculiar is all. Anyway, we've got one more show this episode. We're going to show you the results of Resilience and Romance 1996. Let's get straight into it. Alright, we are here at Resilience and Romance 1996 in front of 30,000 people. We have the card. Let's get straight into it. So, just put this pre-show match so I wouldn't go right into the show when I clicked start show. So, let's get to it. Starting off with Benoit and Storm getting a victory over Chris Candido and Chris Jericho after Chris Benoit submitted Chris Candido with a crippler crossface, gets an 82, and after the match, Candido and Jericho beat down Benoit and Storm, and Satoshi Kojima runs down and makes the save. I'm pretty sure I forgot one thing for the booking thing, so let me... I think I forgot something, so just give me a second, alright? I'll be right back. Alright, we're good. I didn't forget it. We're fine. But we're back in our next match, Rey Mysterio versus Billy Kidman versus Chavo, the #1 contendership for the Cruiserweight Championship, and Rey Mysterio is the winner, which means Mysterio will be facing Eddie Guerrero for the Cruiserweight Championship at a later date. Gets a 72. So, alright, so this match was done. This match is done. Alright, so next up is the New Age Outlaws versus D'Lo Brown and Kama Mustafa, and they managed to keep the titles, and it gets a 61. So, not the worst, not the best, and I have to say that, unfortunately, I think the Hell in a Cell match is not going to do well. I don't know if I didn't mention it yet, but because of TEW2020 and the way the product works, I had it set on Classic Balance. I didn't change it, and which means Hell in a Cell is not going to work well for our audience, so the match is going to suffer. It's not going to get the score it needs to, and that's one of the things I despise about TEW2020. I personally think the way that the product setup is made completely sucks. I wish you could just make your own product, kind of like how you can in TEW2016, but it's all pre-made and stuff like that, and I don't like it at all. And I know in the new game TWIX, I read the developer's journal, and I know they're planning to add more preset products, so it's going to be similar to this. Hopefully they can find one that's better. But anyway, so we're stuck with that for the time being, but no time for that. Right now we have the Intercontinental Championship, and The Rock once again retains after interference from Stevie Ray. And The Rock makes defense number 3 of the Intercontinental Championship. And they don't seem to click. I don't like that at all, Triple H and The Rock not clicking, because I'm going to mention it again. IRL, The Rock and Triple H had great matches together, especially in the 2000s, except for the WrestleMania 2000 main event, of course, but that also had Mick Foley and Big Show in it, and it was mostly because Triple H retained the Heavyweight Championship that it was a bad, poorly received match. And I don't know why they didn't put The Rock over. This is just me going on a side tangent. I don't know why The Rock didn't win the title at WrestleMania 2000 and win it at Backlash the next month. That makes no sense. Have him win at the Big Show. Not the Big Show, WrestleMania. I'm not talking about Paul White here. Anyway, 69. Sorry for the side tangent. But next up we have The Undertaker versus Brian Pillman. And oh, never mind. It's DDP versus Big Show. I guess it's after this. Okay. DDP gets the victory over the Big Show, in Jesse Ventura being the special guest referee, with the DDP DDT after Sting took over as referee after Jesse Ventura was knocked out. We get a 67. DDP is the #1 contender for the World Championship with the help of the World Champion Sting. Gets a 67. Now we have The Undertaker versus Brian Pillman. This better do alright. I'm gonna lose it. I despise this game sometimes. I despise it. I'm gonna have to change the product. Fantastic. I love that. Just pretend that's a 98. Anyway, The Undertaker gets the victory over Brian Pillman. And he's dead. Brian Pillman is now dead. And we get our main event, Steve Austin versus Dustin Rhodes. And Steve Austin gets the victory over Dustin Rhodes with a stunner after the interference from the returning Ken Shamrock. And we end the show with Steve Austin having Dustin Rhodes bow down to him. It gets a 77 because the product is shit. I mean, because Hell in a Cell was shit. You know what? No. Pillman and... I'm giving you guys a hug, because you guys, I'm sure you guys did well, and it's just TW being dumb. I'm going to change that on screen. I don't give a shit. As you can tell, I'm very not happy. Ooh, Ric Flair. Oh. Oh my god. Well. Do I do this on camera? I think I will, but first, let me go over here. Let's go to Global Championship Wrestling. product. Alright. So classic balance. It's current product we're looking for. Anti-establishment hardcore, attitude entertainment. I think this would probably be the best for this for the time being. 70 to 30. This doesn't matter because I have that off. Whatever. Too extreme. Hell in a Cell isn't that really that extreme. Death matches will be penalized. Dangerous match setups will be penalized. That makes no sense. Attitude Era was all about danger. Gimmicks fine. I don't have storyline turns on, that doesn't matter. I don't have storyline turns on, that doesn't matter. Storytelling, that's fine. I think I'm gonna set it to Attitude Entertainment for the time being, and we'll see how that works. All right. We'll see if anything changes, and since I'm here, I might as well check the rookie list before I see who is available. TEW2020, Adam Pearce, Chris Harris, Dennis Rodman. Ooh, Umaga. Oh, he's already on the short list. Okay, Sean Casey, Shane Helms. I'm going to shortlist Shane Helms. Let's reset this. And let's go over here and look at all these offers. All right, Jerry Flynn contract expiring. I'm not going to re-sign Jerry Flynn. Stink, who I haven't even used on TV as Stink. I'm not going to re-sign Stink. Thrasher, I will re-sign. To a 1-year deal. We'll do a 1-year deal. I get bored with the lower card talent real quick. Thrasher, Raven. Okay, I'm unsure if Raven can even actually work with his broken neck, so we'll do 6 months, and if he can work fine, great. Super Kalo. We're going to re-sign Super Kalo. He's part of the LWO, so I'm going to give him another year. Raven, Super Kalo. Johnny Valiant. We'll give him 6 months. Mosh, we're going to re-sign Mosh. Gave him 1 year like Thrasher. Johnny Valiant, Mosh. Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman from WCW. 73 grand. That's way too high. I'm not in a position where I can get Paul Heyman in the moment, I think. That's fine. I'll worry about that in between episodes. Lizmark Jr. We're going to re-sign Lizmark Jr., but it's going to be a handshake deal. It's going to be per show. It's going to be 6 months. Fine. Hector Garza, I'm going to re-sign. He's part of the LWO. We're going to give him 1 more year. Paul Heyman. Ric Flair. Alright. We're too small for him, so it doesn't matter. Bobby Heenan. Do I want Bobby Heenan? Who do I have as my color guy at the moment? Because 95 color is pretty amazing. Alright. Yeah. My current announced team for color would be Joey Styles with the 77. So it would make a difference. Pretty big difference. But he's way too expensive, I think, at this point. Yeah. So we're going to have to let that go. Let's see who else is becoming available. And Andre's not going to sign, and I don't want Andre. Alright, Stan Hansen. Too small. Robert Fuller, Don Morocco, Steve Kern, or Skinner, Sweet Sugar Brown, Chavo Guerrero. I can maybe work a storyline with that, so I'm going to shortlist them. Not going to hire him just yet, but I'm going to shortlist them. And that's how we're going to end today's episode, I think. Alright, thank you guys for watching this episode of GCW. Make sure to like if you like this video, subscribe if you want more. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.